I'm Lisa Falk with the Arizona State Museum. I'm interviewing Native artists for the Honoring Traditions Bridging Generation program. Hello, can you tell me your name and where you're from and about the artwork you do?
My name is Preston. I come from the village of Sanavir, traditionally known as a Wok. I consider myself Tohono O'odham. I am a traditional basket weaver, traditional potter, and I also do some jewelry, metalwork, as well as sculpture, stone carving.
Okay. How long have you been making art?
Oh, I've been making art probably all my life. For me, it's a way of keeping myself out of trouble, I always say. But basketry started when I was in high school, working with Terrell Johnson. And he's always been really helpful, and I've always considered him my first and main mentor.
So how has Terrell had an impact on your work?
Well, in the beginning, Terrell did help by, letting me attend shows with him. I also did a lot of materials cleaning and just got the feel for every little thing that went into basketry. And then, traveling and doing art shows, I was also kind of opened up to what possibilities there are. Got to meet a lot of different people, different backgrounds. And so it's just always been something that I look on as I move forward. Part of that is also that he allows me to work for him from time to time, so the learning has never stopped. It's always been continual. And I kind of use that when I try to teach, here and there, or, try to give information out, being willing to be open.
So Terrell's a basket maker, but you mentioned pottery, and who has been your mentor in pottery?
Pottery is just recent, within the last 10 months, I believe. And my teacher for that was Kathleen Vance, another intern in this program. And, with her, the very beginning, it was very quick, just a workshop over 4 days. But because of the internship, I've been able to work with her outside, this program. We've also been able to work and, just talk about the program, and, we have ideas or just share information.
Okay. And have you had any experience mentoring others, and if so, how has that impacted your own work?
I've done some teaching here and there. After I learned pottery, a way to get more familiar with it for myself was to teach some of my nieces and nephews. Very impromptu class, and it didn't work out the way we had hoped, but it gave them that experience. I like working with anybody, really. Part of Terrell's teachings was to always be open to teaching, men and women. It didn't matter what your background was. It was more about continuing these traditions, and that's what I try to do. And what I think about when I'm working is the continuation. If we don't continue it, this information is going to be lost, and ultimately the art form is going to die.
So have you taught people basketry as well?
Yes. Over the years, I've taught several classes. I would like to do like an apprenticeship with somebody. I'm always trying to get my nieces to do the work, But part of my philosophy is learning from the very beginning, picking the materials, and a lot of the kids don't want to do that nowadays. So it's kind of hard to get them to come back after the first session.
So do you consider yourself an artist, craftsman, or native artist? And is there a difference in how you think about your work with those different labels?
For myself, I will always consider myself more of a craftsperson. I'm doing this to continue the craft, not necessarily to show in shows, make money off of it. For me, it's about doing the work, putting in the time, and learning the skills, even if it's just going out into the desert and finding the clays or the materials. The money is always good, but I try not to center that as my main focus.
So do you think that's the difference between a craftsman and an artist?
I believe so, but again, I part of it is just doing the work and always having something to fall back on when other things don't work out, or keeping me out of trouble, like I said.
So what do you hope to accomplish with your basketry and your pottery, or what message do you want to present through your art?
That it's still there, that the art forms are still, the craft forms are still present. A lot of times, for instance, while pottery, in the beginning I set myself a goal of creating a cooking pot and then cooking food in it, only because I had never had that experience. And although, my kind of path has veered off in different ways, and I have yet to do that 10 months, 11 months now, that is my goal, Same thing with basketry, different designs, different techniques, I always want to be pushing forward and not just doing the same old thing.
So is there a particular project that you're hoping to work on, or what is your future plans with it?
For right now, the pottery has really taken over. I mean, there's so many different techniques, the gathering of the clays, the firing, it's really made a big, it's taken a big amount of time. So I'm just trying to learn all the techniques that I can now. That way, maybe I can go back to basketry for a little while, or try something else, that I don't forget these little, little nuances, or the stuff that I may forget in the future.